refugees being resettled in 5 states, many bringing one disturbing thing with them. America is still suffering the effects of former President Barack Obama's idiocy as a plane full of refugees are currently being resettled across 5 U.S. states. Unfortunately, things have gotten much worse as we've learned about the one thing that many of these so-called refugees have brought along with them, and it's downright disturbing. For those unaware, America isn't done with the chaos created by Obama just yet, as many of his policies are still haunting us to this day. In fact, during his last months in office, he signed the Australian-US refugee deal, where he promised to take 1,250 Middle Eastern refugees who were in Australia. Even though President Donald Trump has since referred to the agreement as a dumb deal, it seems that it's time to pay the piper. In fact, the first group of 50, mostly male, refugees have been flown into the U.S. and are being resettled across 5 states, including Georgia, Oregon, Colorado, Texas, and Arizona. However, those residing in those states may want to keep an eye out, as we've most recently learned of the one disturbing thing that many of them brought along with them. According to Breitbart, many of the refugees being allowed in have brought with them mental illness and will need treatment once they're in their new homes. We have single men coming to the U.S. from Sri Lanka and Iran and Afghanistan, refugee resettlement expert Ann Corcoran said. They've been held in detention for 4 years. They're free once they get here. They'll be totally free. They're going to need mental health treatment. Sadly, that's only the half of it, as many of them have exhibited sexually predatory behavior as well. We all know that rape and other various forms of sexual assault run rife within refugee camps, but Obama didn't seem too concerned about that or things like assimilation. In January, a refugee from Sri Lanka living in the detention centers raped an 18-year-old high school student multiple times after taking her to a nearby hotel, according to Loop. The girl tried to run away to a relative's home, but suffered so much blood loss from the brutal rape that she eventually fainted. In another case in March, law enforcement officials confirmed that a 28-year-old Pakistani from the detention center had been charged with raping a 10-year-old girl, The Guardian reported. Just a month later, refugees from the detention center were accused of trying to lure a 5-year-old boy into the facility, causing an uproar in the local community about the danger the foreign nationals have become to children, as News Corp Australia Network reported. Source: Breitbart. In all, America isn't getting much out of this deal unless, of course, you count the progression of the liberal agenda. The U.S. will only have to pay more money for these people as they likely become a part of the welfare state, and that's the least of what is going to happen. As indicated by the previously listed cases, these refugees will likely come here and inflict their barbaric ways upon the American people. Even though Obama couldn't concern himself with such horrors, it's only a matter of time before we start hearing about our fellow countrywomen being raped by these refugees without a second thought. Pay more and put the lives of Americans at risk, that's what we're getting out of this so-called deal, and that pretty much sums up Barack Obama's entire presidency. This is a damn shame to see unvetted and unassimilated people being allowed into our country because of the will of someone who is no longer in charge. If ever there was a time for President Donald Trump to put his foot down and say not today, this would be it, for the sake of all Americans. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.